Okay, now that we have the coat of gesso over the color, we're going to heat it with our heat gun, and you're going to see that the gesso is going to kind of crack and split just a little bit, and we're going to be able to see just hints of that, the colorings and the Shimmerz paints that we used underneath come through once we have this dried. It'll just give it an aged effect on the canvas. Okay, now hopefully you can see that. You can see the peekaboo. It looks like a real brick surface. You can see the outlines of the rings we had put on there. Some of the color, some of the pop art pink and My Bleeding Heart and truffle kind of soaking through, which is going to kind of give it this fun little aged look. Okay, let me put my gesso away here real quick. Okay, now I have that I have a piece of muslin that I kind of have some My Bleeding Heart just splattered on it from kind of dabbing and laying it on here. What I did is I just took my scissors and I made a little cut, and I want to keep it jagged, so I'm just going to rip the strip. And I think I actually want to do another, so I made another little cut. I'm going to rip this strip. Okay. Okay, now that I have all the embellishments and everything that I want onto the canvas, I always start with that, unless it's the background that I've altered, which I have already showed you. Then to add just a little bit more hint of color, but not totally take the color scheme way off. I like to just try to find a coordinating color. The Vibes in Eggnoggin is going to be perfect because it's going to match the color in the cotton tape and the muslin that I used. And then, excuse me, I always try to have some kind of paper scrap laying nearby so I can cover my photo. Now, I don't ever cover it completely. You just kind of lay something over it or hold something over it and kind of shift the paper as I go. And then I'm just going to add, let's see, just a little hint of color in here. And then I think I'm going to add just a little bit down here, but I don't have a photo down here, so I can just go ahead and spray. And I'm going to use a baby wipe to kind of soak up a little bit on the words so we can see those, but just leave a little bit of color. Okay, let's wipe this up here. actually think I just want a little bit more right in there. Okay. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and take my heat gun and just kind of do a quick dry on some of the elements. The eggnog is a very subtle, beautiful color, so it's not going to have added tons, which is kind of what I like, or what I'm going for here. I wanted a subtle addition of color. I think I'm going to use a little bit of mud pie and spin it between my fingers. Okay, and there's my little piece of paper again. I want to cover my photo up a bit. And I just want to add just a little bit more in here. Like I said, we just want just a little hint of color. I'm going to use my wipe and kind of dab to raise some of that color out. And then I think I'll add a little bit down here. Okay. You really just want to layer on just a little bit of color at a time to give it that age distressed look. We'll move that again. Okay, so we've used those. Okay, so we're going to heat set it just a little bit. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, one of my favorite colors is Gold Glimmer Blings. I probably use too much of it. I'm going to add a couple drops of water to my blings because I've got a lot of the chunks in the bottom. If you want to just renew your paints up just a bit, just put a couple drops in of water. You do not add too much because that can get just it'll get runny and it'll affect the color quality. So just a couple drops at a time and it'll freshen your paint right up. Okay, now using the bamboo stick and the pointy end, I'm going to dip into the Gold Glimmer. And I want to add a little bit of highlight around the photo. Make sure that gets all the way to the end there. Oops, I just dripped a little bit, and that's okay. I don't have enough room here. I'm going to go like this. As you can see, I am a major mess maker when it comes to creating these projects. And I don't really want to affect the photo since I go all the way to the edge there. So I'm just going to kind of just get a little sparkle going in here. Maybe I'll paint a little bit of sparkle down here with the Gold Glimmer. Some up here at the top. Kind of pull the whole thing together here. Okay, and then, let's see here. Okay, I think I am going to go ahead and use a little bit of espresso here. And I'm going to stir it up with my little stick. And I'm going to just kind of scoop some up and I'm going to push it in there. and then I would like to have a little bit in here. I try to make sure to add a little bit of the same, if I'm using a color on one part of the layout, just for balance, make sure that everything kind of ties in together. Put a little bit on another part that I'm working on. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Wrap that up. And I think we are all finished. I'll take a picture of it, but that just shows you how you can layer, and even using a very neutral palette, you can just add subtle little bits of color to your any kind of project by painting it on, dripping it on, using molding paste to create textured backgrounds, by painting your canvas first and spraying it, and then adding gesso on top of it to give a little peekaboo. So I hope you've enjoyed. See you next month. Bye.